So what do we have here? Looks kind of like a radio, but it's not. What this actually is a Motorola TC101 Strata-Tuner. Prior to the late 50s, TV only had VHF channels from 2 to 13. Well, by the late 50s things were getting pretty crowded, so they kicked the shortwave guys out of the UHF band and opened it up for television. But there were an awful lot of TVs out there that didn't have UHF tuners in them. So devices like this came out. So what this does is it down converts the UHF band to the VHF band. I guess kind of like a cable box does now, where you put your TV on, say, channel 3, or in this case I think 5 or 6, and you would use this to tune in the stations. And if you wanted to use VHF, you would put this in the VHF position and it would just feed the signal straight through with no conversion in this position for UHF. Now, you might be thinking, this would be pretty useless today, but in Chicago, just like we still have one VHF channel on channel 6, there's actually about 8 channels on the UHF band. None of my sets receive UHF though, so I've never been able to watch them. Until I got this. Now I haven't restored it yet. I've taken a look in the back. The power cord has been cut off, so I have to replace that. So let's see, we've got, for convenience, you can plug the TV into this and then this plugs into the wall instead of having to run 2 cords to the wall. Your old rabbit ear VHF would go here. The UHF antenna, which is just a metal hoop, would go here. And then this would feed into the TV's antenna input. Let's slide this out and see what's inside. Hang on. Okay, here's the chassis. There's only 2 tubes in this. We got one here and one here. I would guess one is an oscillator mixer and the other one is probably an RF amp. Like a lot of All-American 5 radios, this doesn't have a power transformer. Runs right off the AC line with a selenium rectifier, which I'll be replacing because these tend to go bad, and when they do go bad it smells really horrible. So just all you need is one silicon diode to replace this, and optionally a dropping resistor. Looks like there's already one in here though, a 47 ohm resistor, so maybe I'll just increase that to about a 100 ohm resistor. Because these selenium rectifiers have more internal resistance than a modern silicon diode, and if you just replace it with a diode, your output voltage will go up maybe 30-40 volts. One capacitor here which is kind of bulging and looking nasty, so I'll definitely replace this. Looks like it's 3 sections, 10, maybe 10, 10, 10, oh no, just 2 sections. 2 10s at 150 volt, that's no problem, I got plenty of those on hand. And there is one transformer. This, I imagine, is for the filament for those 2 tubes, so it's probably just 120 volt primary and a 6.3 volt secondary. I'm guessing about all this because I do not have the schematic. I can't find one, so I'm just going to have to wing it and replace components with whatever I can read the values off of. The rest of it's very straightforward, really no capacitors to replace. Ceramic disc capacitors rarely go bad. So I think I will just replace this capacitor, throw a diode in here with the dropping resistor, and fire this up and see what it does. Have that coming up in part 2.